Well, it took far longer than I expected to get from sub 50 to sub 45 in free play for this game. I didn't think it would take me over a year of on and off playing this game just to try and get it. I had been basically gypped multiple times, long story short, and literally fighting the game to get it. In the 3.5 years I have been on and off, of course. 3.5 years I've been playing this game to go as fast as possible. This has come quite far. When I started, the world record was 59:02, and then had been just lowered to 57:09. And so that was the time I was targeting initially. And then I brought that to 53:10. Pretty much all on my own. Until close to the end. Like, when I was getting the 53:10, there were actually a few people hopping in. The current world record now is 42:40 by Laser Trap. It was set back in August of 2019 when a trick in... Let's go over here. This level had just been discovered, and it cut about a minute off. And that was the only reason he even got a personal best, like lowered it to from 43:05 to 42:40. Because the rest of the run was kind of awful. Well, not awful, it was actually well executed, but he lost a lot of time in a lot of places. So two things I'd want to mention before we begin going in and discussing the run starting with this level. First is, what is the free play category? It is actually fairly simple. It's just play all the levels that have a free play option in them. There's 22 of them out of the 30 levels. The vehicle levels don't have a free play option in the DS version. I know they do in literally every other port of this game, but I think this one came first, and so it was rushed, and it wasn't as well made. And second, this run did not change my standings on the speedrun.com leaderboards. I'm still second. But on the unofficial leaderboards, I do recognize a time by River52 that is probably legitimate, but there's no video as far as I know that can tell me that, but I'm fairly certain it is legitimate because he contributed to a strategy in one of the few levels in the first level we're going to be doing. And his time was also a 44:45. Or roughly around there. He said, like, I got a 44:45 or so. So I could be still third, I could be second, I could be ahead of him, or we're tied. We're probably tied for second on the unofficial leaderboard. So let's get started with the run, but this first level is actually really short, so I have to get part of the explanation for this level out of the way first. This is the first of 8 levels at the time this was done. There's now actually 9 that are in the sub 1 council. That is, they've been all completed in there are 9 levels that we've completed in under a minute. It was probably also the first to be completed in under a minute in chronological order, like the first one that we were able to do, because of the strat making it sub 1 was one of the first discovered. And this new strategy also saves having to do the debug mode boot up ritual and having to turn on skip activation, because we don't have to go into a bonus area to do the infinite jump. So let's get started now. So what's happening in this level? I only have a minute to explain this. This combines the blaster interrupt glitch, more commonly known as the infinite jump glitch, with loading areas of the level fake to skip to the end of the level here. The problem is that jump, which came from switching areas, is extremely hard to do because there's a lot of lag in loading this area because it's huge. In this room, we are going to be triggering the boss fight early. The boss fight's literally right next door. So we'll just head over here. There's no solid ground when you load an area fake, so when the game tries to make Django stand on the ground, he will just fall through the floor and die instantly. So next up is Droid Factory. This isn't as dense of a level as Discovery on Kamino was.
I'm trying to make my arms.
I get to explain Yoda's mechanics here, since it's fairly important to explain them. Yoda's attacks come in sets of 3. His third one is faster and higher than the other 2, but he will land onto the ground after the third one. You can use this clip through doors by angling your input slightly during the second swipe. So, because Yoda lands after his third swipe, we have to jump out of it so we can continue moving. And that is how you quickly move through every single level in this game. The CPU behavior can be quite random at times, and you can lose a lot of time here if you're very unlucky. As I've learned, you can mitigate it by guiding the CPU character through the end of the room. Here, you can actually clip through the door at the end of this room, but it only saves like maybe 5 seconds and is much harder than most other door clips, so we don't go for it.
SWAT 8 Droid.
Another thing with Yoda's mechanics is you can get essentially a triple jump or a quadruple jump, because even though you get a ton of airtime with Yoda's swipes, it's not counted as a jump. The clip at the end of this room is kind of just for show. Doesn't really save too much time. And here's where I get to explain that thermal detonators are really amazing.
New IO record.
I'll explain it a bit later.
1 second.
That's a 153. Count Dooku is the second of 8 levels in this sub-1 council. I mean, there is one extra. I will mention it much later on.
That was good.
It's basically just a few short rooms, and then you are fighting Count Dooku. So, why are thermal detonators extremely awesome in this game? 1, they instantly destroy anything in a decent sized radius. In that radius, they will quick one-hit knock out all enemies. They will instantly deal 1 heart of damage to all bosses except for 1, that being the Emperor. And they have quirky slope physics and hit detection that allow you to clip through doors and ceilings. The Count Dooku fight, as you're seeing here, there's a large amount of invulnerability frames once he gets hit, and so you have to time the thermal detonator attacks around that. I was actually standing too far away to actually throw the thermal detonator at him, so I did get a bit closer, and I did lose a bit of time there. And so it's basically just throw 16 thermal detonators at him and end the level. There are some other ways of doing this.
Bad 2-5, but
So this next level is basically one long run-room gauntlet. There's very little glitches, and it's very long. It's over 3 minutes. So it makes it the longest level in this category by far. So a few things to note in this level. The switches are on an infinite timer because it's story mode.
bad.
Another thing about switches is you can press L or R or switch to any character on the touchscreen after you hold the switch and you gain control
So nice
of your character. And the switch animation also completes. This level, there's so many ways of doing each of the 10 so-called phases and the boss fight at the end as well. You've just got to be efficient with what you end up doing. As long as it's efficient and fast, you're probably doing something right.
Good. I know for sure I got that too. That was nice.
There's not really a whole lot to discuss in this. It's mostly just execution based and just knowing where your thermal detonators are going to land and what exactly to do. This is the one level where you can just experiment to try and figure out what works best for you. Oh yeah, I should also mention that when you do swap characters and pull a switch, your AI, the computer AI doesn't think that it should pull the other switch, so you have to be expected to do the second one if you're doing that. So here, we're going to be fighting Jango Fett for real this time. There's various different ways of doing it. Many people just throw 10 thermal detonators and just end the level that way. I decide to be a bit more varied because I don't like just sitting there and spamming A.
That was good.
So I'm starting the explanation for this next level because it's so short. It's the shortest level in the game. What we'll be doing is throwing a thermal detonator at the frame of the first door in the level, and then getting the right hit detection off that thermal detonator so we can jump through the ceiling. You can see it right here. Because I got it first try. It was really, really satisfying to get it first try. And when we jump to here, we're actually in the final room of the level. So it's one detonator clip away from finishing the level. This took 6 tries, and I think I should mention detonator clipping. There's 2 types, side clipping and slip clipping. Side clipping is when you use the detonator's hitbox itself to just push you through a door, while slip clipping involves using the slope and the floor detection of a thermal detonator to slide you down into a door. 4th try, but whatever.
I need good clips, okay? Because I'm not getting the right RNG for something else. I'm gonna re-implement a new strat. A very old one, I mean. Seems slightly faster. And the swipes line up a little better. In this area, it's basically just scale the sandcrawler, pull the switches, and go back down. There's a very quick way of scaling the sandcrawler. What you do is you stand on this left tread, you use the force to pull down the high platform above you, and then you just go up from there as normal. There is an early cycle, which I failed here, because I was too fast on the inputs, probably. And so I had to wait. So I had to climb back up and then wait for the next cycle. I could get like a first, second, or third try clip here. This is one of the worst clips. First room in the sandcrawler, you can actually skip what you have to do normally with a very tough door clip. It takes a little bit of practice to actually get the door clip. Yes. Thank you. You can also clip through this door, the last room in the sandcrawler, but it's ridiculously hard. Somehow the world record got it, and I still haven't been able to do it in real time. You don't need your CPU character at the end here. Normally you would, because there's 2 floor switches that will release the barrier of the wall switch ending the level. But you can just simply pull the wall switch, because they didn't seal off the wall switch properly. I don't do that. I opted for a door clip instead because the door there is clippable and it's slightly quicker to just do the door clip. I got it third try, so I tied what we usually do. This next level, Death Star Escape, is split into Rescue the Princess and Death Star Escape and all other versions of the game. Due to some tricks that were discovered in mid-2016, you can basically cut out a ton of this level. You have that flawless first try ceiling clip. It's mostly for show and free play. And then we have this trick called Princessless, which can also be done in story mode and can be done with Yoda as well in free play. I mess it up a lot. Oh. I got it third try, so I lost like 30 seconds here. One of the oldest IL records in the game. I've just burnt this run. Because I don't like doing this strat. I'm gonna do a mini infinite jump to cross this gap and get over to this switch. I somehow failed it pulling the switch, however, so I had to go back up and pull it again. I lost like 10 seconds there. Because I've screwed up so bad. There's like almost no way to recover lost time. I'm gonna be like, at best, like plus 50. And that's assuming this IO literally goes perfectly, which it won't. None of these clips here I got first try, including the clip at the end of this room, which is so simple that you could even accidentally do it in story mode.
Plus a minute, let's make it.
However, I got it third try. It's literally just hold upright and swipe, and then just Yoda attack twice. And you'll get it like almost every time.
It's literally just hold upright.
This is the 4th of 8 levels that's in the sub 1 council, as I call it.
Can I get this one first try? Simple request. Okay, no. None of these clips are first try. So I'm plus a minute.
So our next level is Escape from Echo Base. There's a ceiling clip in this first room. I don't opt for it here because it really only just saves 5 seconds, and it's not exactly one of the easiest things you can do. You can clip through this door here. It's like a 3-second save. I don't go for it. This one, however, saves like 40 to 45 seconds. And I got it first try, so I'm like already saying that I can get past this. Because I am currently a minute behind, as you can tell. Which is a bit daunting to make up in a few levels. I literally have 6 levels to turn this around. And this level is a very big choke point. We're not even at one of the harder parts of this level for me. This room has a very difficult clip. You can do it with Yoda or by thermal detonators. I use thermal detonators because you only need to move like 6 pixels to trigger the loading zone, and I've never really gotten it with Yoda. These are very hard to destroy, and it's not recommended you use thermal detonators on them, mainly because you immediately lose control of your character when the level ends, and you want Yoda for all the level transitions. We're going into Cloud City Trap, as this is called. However, you're only going to be seeing what in the console version is called the Betrayal of Over Bespin. The 2 levels are put inside each other in this version. We're also going to skip the Boba Fett fight here through a detonator clip right here. And I also got it about the fastest way you could. Side clip, first try. There's multiple ways to end this level. You can moon jump out of the elevator. You can deload the door using the ADAF panels. You can moon jump from the ADAF panels here. Or you can do the detonator clip, which I'm probably the only one to do because it's very hard to detonator clip. I got a 3rd try. Next up is Dagobah. This is not an easy level for me to do. Partially because of the final room. I'll get to it. It's one of two levels that's entirely peaceful, at least until the end. That is, there are no enemies that spawn. The other level that's like that is, of course, the pod race, which isn't done in this category, as I already mentioned. So you can quad jump across the pit, it's very risky, or you can triple jump and do a swap jump to gain an extra bit of height and speed. This gate clip took a bit longer than I thought it would, and
Come on.
it's like I'm starting to burn all the time I just saved from the
Come
prior
on.
2 levels.
Did I practice this level for nothing?
This one came through second try. When I'm going through this level. Other gap cross here. And this room coming up is what I mentioned as, this is why this level was a total disaster. I lost almost 50 seconds here from just getting this first try, because I forgot how to do this in a much more consistent way.
Come on.
The best way to do this is to just approach this from the left side while facing at it, just holding up, and then just switching from to up right and then going back to up. And I'm trying to do it, but I probably wasn't handling the inputs correctly.
I hate this clip. I hate this clip. I hate this clip.
So now I'm about a minute and 20 behind.
I was
And
gonna say
I
20,
almost
and
wanted
I
to
said
reset.
I'd lose 20.
But I realized that I could still technically recover this because of a trick that we've now dubbed Harmless. This is the newest trick added to the run for this category. I also got Yoda RNG
Like
here.
it doesn't even matter.
1 in 7 chance. So essentially, you clip through this door by any means, detonator clip or Yoda clip if you get the RNG.
This is the second easiest clip in the
Get
game.
a good Yoda clip for some reason. Then you go on top of this spawner for the guards.
Basic?
And then you have to invert the camera so that you are actually jumping. Relative to the perspective that's intended, you're jumping towards the camera. And you do like about 24 jumps and you land in the area with Jabba's sail barge, which is at the end of the level. It's a few jumps and then we can hit the loading point. I should have just gone around and done this normally and only used Yoda in the final room. I don't know why I was thinking I could try and set Niall here.
Get the clip.
Though I looked back and I was actually quite close. I came in at like 1 flat.
Doesn't matter if I get the clip
And
first
the
try,
record's
'cause I'm
like
not
just
gonna
under
record.
1.
But that's still pretty good. That's like a 106.
So this next level is the Battle of Endor. Aside from a few quad jumps at the beginning, the level's fairly chill until the end. I have coin toss RNG, and I didn't get the right coin toss, so I'm going to get a bit of lag in game from getting the wrong small character.
Not what I wanted.
There's 2 small characters you get from just playing all the levels. That's Youngling Anakin and the Wicket. Youngling Anakin doesn't have a weapon, so the enemy AI just chooses not to target them, and they also don't see ghost characters. It means that the AI would have just done nothing. It'll even be a miracle if this ends up being like 45XX. So these are barrier swipes that are coming up. You basically land on top of the barrier and then just do Yoda swipes from there. They do save a tiny bit of time, but if you try to force them, they don't save that much time.
I think the early one, but not the late one. Okay.
Or even lose you time.
Nice clip. Oh. Whatever. Don't split, don't split. I did 6-3 or first by mistake.
The next level is the Emperor Palpatine fight. Thermal detonators don't work on him, and you can't do any funny business like load invisible floors to kill him. So we have to fight him somewhat normally. I lost 5 seconds at the beginning of the level because I moved a bit too quickly, so the CPU character just didn't follow me. There's a small window between his invulnerability frames ending and beginning to look for other player characters to shock. If you hit him in this window, the hit goes through and it properly damages him.
It's 3 for 4, but I died as well, so it's more like 2 for 4.
Here's a corner cut. It's just a triple jump across that platform.
Four.
We're now going to be heading over to phase 3. While we wait for our CPU character to catch up, we have some time to set up for other things that are going to be useful for later in the level. For example, the elevator platform here. We can just pull this switch and just do all this procedure while we wait for the CPU character to come over.
Zero. So 3, 4, 1, 0. Oh wow, I am actually going to save quite a bit of time because of the clips. Okay, so this run is maybe salvageable. Wow. First try harmless. First try harmless salvages a run.
The next level up is negotiations. This is fairly standard for a free play level. This is also the 7th of 8 levels in the Sub 1 Council. You can get like a 59. I think a 58 has been achieved once. So there's like 4 clips. Some of them are harder than others. There's 2 ways of doing this third room here. You can throw the thermal detonators at the droidekas to open the door, or you can just clip through. The gauntlet room has a very hard clip. I once cracked it and then I forgot how to do it. So I've just spent a ton of time trying to figure out what to do.
Let's just go for...
You can use a thermal detonator clip, but you can only side clip because of how the door's angled, or you can just try and brute force Yoda clips. So I got this door clip 10th try, which sounds bad, but it's a ton better than what I got in my 4530.
Come on, get the gauntlet clip.
Here, we're gonna just use a triple jump to clear the barrier here, and skip this entire room. And then do a door clip just to dance on the room's grave, so to speak.
This looks like it could potentially be a salvageable run. I don't know. It was like a 140. It's bad, but I don't know. 1-5 first, 1-5, then 1-4. One five, then 1-4. Get Anakin and use him. Thermal detonators are so OP. I don't know how I have so much time to save. Probably the 1-5 clip. I don't know. Keep your eye on the prize. Get the clip.
Our next level up I'm doing is Darth Maul.
That's too fast.
You can actually throw thermal detonators to damage the first iteration of the Darth Maul fight here. Just don't throw too many or the game will actually crash because his health will underflow.
Couldn't get the swag clip. I'm sad. Not really.
You can approach this gap cross from the left or from the right, but you'll almost certainly need a swap jump either way, just to make sure you get across. These 4 force field clips are hard to do because you have to chain them. They went okay.
2. Not half bad on
I'm going to now inch my way over to the other side of the fight arena so I can throw a thermal detonator at the on his first canister attack here.
Nice jump. Swap, swap, swap. Come on, R trigger, work. Yes!
There's not really a whole lot left to talk about, so I'm going to mostly let the live commentary speak for itself. This would be very hilarious if this broke 45. Because this run has been all over the place. God, Blaster slot 8, nice. It's the second quickest slot 8. Bounty Hunter being, of course, the fastest. Debating to do the clip. I don't know. I'll go for it. Question mark? I'm bad at it. Oh my gosh, I got it first try. This is it. Miraculous things happen when you don't reset. Oh, come on. I almost want to try a new strat, but I haven't tested it outside of mini kits and bricks. Fast maul, good clips, and an alright 1-1, and a very solid 1-4. We're ahead. And we've now magically plopped back into the lead that I burned away. I've just got to hold it somehow. I've just got to hold this lead, and I have a PB. Four. Slow. Yes! Defensive Kashyyyk. What I found is that the floors for the bridges at the beginning of this level are completely solid, and their default state just has a wall just going up that you can easily go around with Yoda. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We've got one choke point left.
1. Let's go. Got 2 clips that are really hard left, and then it's smooth sailing. This is one of them. Come on. It's so hard to keep your hands stable. Okay, 4th try. Not absolute trash. I checked OBS. I was specifically looking for one line to not show up at the bottom of the window that said encoding overloaded, because that would have been very bad for this run. Ladies and gents, this could be sub 45 if I get 2 good ILs. Even if it isn't, this is on pace for my goal. Okay, I want a good clip in the final room. I mean, into final room, not in. Come on. Come on. Four. Get this first try, it's sub 45 pace. Oh boy. Here we go. This is it. Somehow, this is actually doing well. Just need a 90, and I've got it. That's like 18 seconds of leeway. That's pretty good. Let's go. Oh, dude, why did I die there? I've had that happen a few times before. That's so stupid. We're still on it, though. I've got to somehow find a way to calm down. Finally!